So in today's video, I'll show you how I made this really easy throwaway jig for a router to cut dados. So this project I'm working on here is going to be a shelf, a little cubby shelf that's going to fit mugs, and it's going to have all of these pieces slotted into it. So I made this quick little jig with just some scrap pieces. It took about 5 minutes to make, and I'll go over that in the video. Some things I wanted to note is the bottom piece here, you want to make sure that this piece is either the same thickness as the material you're working on or smaller. I made mine the same thickness because what I ended up doing was nailing the jig to the table to hold it in place because I didn't have a way to clamp the back side of it. So when I had it close to the table and I clamped it, the back side would raise up and the router would get caught. So I ended up making it the same width as the piece, nailing it to the table, and then I was able to slide the piece in and out, and that worked pretty well. The other thing that I wanted to mention was when I measured and attached this, there's some play with the plate of my router. It's not perfectly even on both sides. So as I shifted, my groove got slightly bigger and the pieces weren't fitting snugly anymore. So I ended up putting some blue painter's tape until the fit was snug again. So that's something you can do as well if you notice that your grooves are starting to get a little too loose. So those are some things to keep in mind if you decide to do this for yourself. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab the piece that I need, that I'm going to be cutting the dado in. So I have about 7 pieces that I'm going to be routing dados in, and they're all the same thickness. So what I need to do is butt up these 2 scrap pieces that I have so that it's tight to the width of the piece that I'm using. Then I'm going to set the runners here. Now one of them is going to be constant, and I'll have to adjust the other one to make sure that it's the right width. So the reason that I have to make this jig is because I bought a 5/8 inch router bit, but the thickness of the board is about 11/16, so I need to make up about a 1/16 of an inch. So I need to make a way to make it repeatable. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. So I'm just going to attach one piece and then I'll slightly adjust the other one to make sure that it's the right width. So my router bit is 5/8, and the piece I need to cut is about 11/16. So the first thing I'm going to do is just eyeball it, and I'll set one nail. That way if it doesn't work, I can easily just pop it out. So I'm going to use this scrap block to test out and see how that works. This is way too tight. I need to take off about another 1/16 or so. So the piece fits. It's a hair loose, but for the purposes that I'll be using it, it should work out good. So I'm going to go with that, and I'm going to begin cutting all my dados.